time to check in with CoinDesk Global Policy and Regulation Managing Editor Nick Day, who is also the editor of CoinDesk, the State of Crypto newsletter. Hello there, Nick. So, as I said, you've been monitoring. I've been checking your tweets all weekend long. What is going on with the latest update with these amendments? Where Congress is at? Do we even know what kind of direction this is headed?
Hey, good morning. So yeah, it's been a long weekend. As of last night, the Senate conducted a number of procedural votes on the amendment, on the infrastructure bill. And basically what we're looking at right now is the version that was introduced late last Sunday night, so about a week ago. And that's the version that has the pretty broad definition of a broker. It doesn't explicitly call out, decentralized exchanges like an original draft version did, but it also doesn't explicitly carve out any specific entities like miners or validators that, the industry believes should not be qualified as a broker, but could get caught up in this definition. As of right now, the Senate has basically, decided to vote and debate on the, underlying the text, as we said, the version from a week ago, meaning that, they're not really considering amendments. It is possible, and there are some proponents who believe that, there's a small chance here that an amendment could be adopted through unanimous consent, meaning all 100 senators have to agree. And, if they do, then they could find some kind of compromise or otherwise vote on one of the existing amendments that would narrow the definition of a broker to, specifically exchanges and OTC desks and other types of trading platforms or entities that have the necessary information to comply. Barring that, though, it looks like, within the next 24 hours or so, the Senate will vote, and they'll vote to pass the infrastructure bill that they have before them, which, again, as we've said twice now, is the pretty broad definition.
So why did they knock out the amendments? What was the backroom situation that happened or actually the procedural situation rather that happened when they said, okay, we're not going to consider any amendment at all on this?
So yeah, over the weekend they were discussing this. The Senate first filed cloture on this on Thursday night, meaning they had Friday, Saturday, and most of Sunday to kind of figure things out within themselves. And it seems that there are really just a couple at the end non-crypto issues that just held up the entire thing. There were senators who were holding up unanimous consent to proceed because they have concerns about how the bill is getting paid for. Originally, this infrastructure bill was presented as something that was fully paid for. Then the Congressional Budget Office published a review saying, it's going to lead to a $250 billion deficit over 10 years. And, it seems that concerned some senators, enough that they held up, trying to expedite any kind of movement on this. And so in the end, it seems like, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer just decided to proceed with the actual bill, as debate time expired, and, just go without the amendments.
Yeah, actually, Nick, I was just going to ask you a similar question. It seems like a lot of what's going on in Washington has nothing to do with crypto at all, which is not the impression you get from watching crypto on Twitter, which gives the impression that all of Washington is paralyzed trying to understand the difference between proof of work and proof of stake, right? So, I guess the question is what happens? So this bill that the crypto industry is basically saying is like Armageddon for the crypto industry is probably going to pass in its original form. What next?
Yeah, so after this, it does go to the House of Representatives, and they're in recess. They'll probably take this up in the fall, and even there, there's going to be probably a fight, not just on the crypto stuff, but there's various parties who are very not satisfied with different aspects of the bill. Whether that's how much goes towards climate change or how much goes towards certain other provisions. There's going to be there will probably be a fight just over the different aspects. And there is bipartisan opposition to the crypto provision within the House. Representatives Darren Soto, Ro Khanna, Ted Budd, Tom Emmer, they've all come out and said that they do not like how the crypto provision is currently worded. So there might well be a fight over that specific portion as well. And so this fall is going to be, the real, I'm not going to say it's going to be the real thing to watch out for because it's been a pretty crazy 2 weeks, but it'll be the next, major place to look. We're going to see if the Senate, if the House even brings this to a vote because, Democrats want the reconciliation bill that's going to follow in the Senate to be passed first. And so it's very possible that, this could get drawn out quite a bit. but regardless, in a month and a half, month or 2 months even, we're going to be looking at what the house is doing.
Right. Just quickly, so to just clarify, the crypto community is concerned about this definition of broker could rope in miners, node operators, validators, et cetera, people that wouldn't be traditionally considered as brokers. The Biden administration says, no, it doesn't do that. It's already quite clear who is a broker and who is not a broker. Is that, and do many people follow that line of thinking?
The argument I've seen has been, if that's the case, why not explicitly carve them out into legislation, or even at least provide some kind of legislative intent, perhaps through like a colloquy, meaning a kind of conversation on the Senate floor, where you can say, this is who is carved out, and here's who we're supposed to try to capture. And I think that's been one of the sticking points, is that it's all well and good to say that you're not intending to cover all this, but if you're not willing to put it into the actual legislation, then are you sure you're meaning what you say?
Right. And the case here is that there will be no new taxes per se on the crypto community, but the concern is mass surveillance on crypto transactions. Is that also the case?
Right. Yeah. So to comply, a broker would need to have KYC information, know your customer information, on whoever receives the transactions. Meaning, for an exchange, it's pretty easy. They have to collect this information anyway when someone signs up. But if you're a miner sending your transactions to a pool or to like the network in general, you don't really have like a clear cut customer that you can collect KYC information for. So it would be difficult for some of these types of parties to comply at all, just because they can't collect this information.